Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV. We have our review for OlliOlli World, the next evolution in Roll 7's simple yet satisfying skate series. Try saying that 5 times fast. Does this one stick the landing, or is it a trip to gaming casualty for broken bones and gamepads? Watch on and find out. OlliOlli World is fun, but very frustrating, and not all of the frustrations are in the gameplay. If you're not familiar with Roll 7's OlliOlli series, this is as good a place as any to start. In fact, I would argue that going back to the previous games would just be too jarring. Not in a gameplay sense, mind you, but in the aesthetics. The first two games were very simple but very clean 2D skaters that had players send their skater from one side of the screen to the other, pulling tricks along the way and trying not to smash their face into the ground. OlliOlli World is more of the same on the gameplay front, albeit with a few tweaks and additions. The big change is in how the game looks. Gone are the simple 2D cityscapes, replaced with cartoony 2.5D worlds with different skating lanes that can be chosen, and characters with faces and dialogue. Not that I cared for what any of them had to say, but more on that a little later. For veterans, the gameplay will be instantly familiar. For newcomers, it will take a bit of getting used to, especially if your go-to skating game is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. That said, even though I've played the first two games to death, I had to replace the nub on my PS Vita after a 3-week OlliOlli addiction, I still had to grapple with the controls. Jumping is not on the A or the cross buttons on your gamepad, but instead it's mapped to the left stick. The left stick is all you really need. In fact, I'm sure you could go through the entire game using only the left stick. You'll flick it to do a jump. You'll flick and twist to do an advanced trick. You'll flick and hold it to grind and wall ride. And yet, after a couple of nights gritting my teeth as I failed and bailed a million times, I still instinctively go to press the A button to jump. Yeah, it's annoying. You will get the hang of it though, and when you do, it will click, and when that happens, it feels amazing. Sending your player-created character barreling down a huge ramp, flipping off the edge and chaining together a dozen grinds, wall rides and grab tricks, and then sticking the perfect landing is fantastic. Though for me at least, it was somewhat rare to achieve this feat on the first attempt. Thankfully, OlliOlli World has a generous checkpoint system that is near instant, so there aren't any lengthy waits to start a new run. The game is split between 5 sections, with each section having a dozen or so levels for you to play through. Each level has 2 primary goals: finish the run and don't use a checkpoint. Then there are the challenge goals like smack some seagulls, avoid a whale, don't ollie, and so on. And then finally, you have the high scores. So if you're a completionist who wants to do it all so you can justify getting yourself the been there done that t-shirt, then you will have a lot to work through. Gameplay wise, I can't really fault OlliOlli World all that much. I knew what to expect going in, and I got it, plus some more. However, I will say that the fact the game keeps dropping tutorials, even in the later stages of the game, was a bit annoying. I wouldn't have minded having it all dumped on me at the start. I'm not an idiot. I can take it in. It's fun, challenging, and at times very frustrating. My controller was fighting for its life throughout this review process, but it's also very rewarding. By that, I mean that I felt a sense of hell yeah whenever I finally overcame a tricky stretch of a level, but you also get rewarded with items that you can use to customize your character. This, I didn't give a toss for. My character is a plain Chris, a digital facsimile of the man, the myth, the legend. It's been said I'm a legend, shut up. Nothing outlandish, but if you care about that stuff, you can customize to your heart's content. Are you a balding old guy who wishes he had long pink hair? Well, you can live that fantasy here, buddy. But for me, digital doodads just don't do anything. Another annoyance I had was the game's story. There's a story this time around and the characters have a lot to say, and I didn't care for any of it. I watched the intro cutscene to get the gist of what's going on, and I even let the NPC dialogue run its course for the first few levels, but I soon opted to skip the dialogue and get straight to the skating. The game even gives you that choice at the start of each new level to either listen, or read actually, to what is being said, to learn about the skating gods, blah blah blah, or you can press A or cross to get to the good stuff. So whatever story is being told, it is sadly being wasted on me. Sorry. But nobody plays a skating game for the story, right? Unless we're talking about the GOAT, Tony Hawk's Underground. How that didn't get an Oscar nomination, I don't know, but the past is the past and we will let things lie. Remake Activision, you fucking cowards. And that's your lot, basically. It's the OlliOlli you know and love. And I am making an assumption here that you love it, but with fancier graphics, some tweaks to add depth to the gameplay, and a story if you really want it. It's fun, frustrating, and if you're an old timer like me, you'll need to play it in bursts so as to keep your blood pressure in check. Yeah, this game pissed me off a lot, but I still liked it, and I will play some more to get as many of the achievements as I can, but I will consider my controller not being embedded in the wall the biggest achievement of them all. And that is the end of this review. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Get feeding the algorithm and get us some more bloody views. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tweet, put it as the background to your TikTok dance. I don't care. Just do it. Anyway, that's enough from me. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, cheerio my lovelies.